Hey, what's up, guys? What's up, guys? How you all doing today? What's up? How you guys doing on this beautiful day? Shout out to all the people out there. Shout out to all the gardeners. Shout out to all the people out there who doing the works. What's up? What's up? Yes, man. Today is such a beautiful day. We had a lot of rain. Oh yes, had a lot of rain, and my goodness, the weeds them in the garden is just doing beautiful on another level, man. Oh my goodness. But sometimes in life you just gotta be grateful because sometimes it's raining, sometimes you ain't got no sun, sometimes the sun is beating down and the plants them struggling. So I gotta say, I'm grateful for whether it's raining or whether it's the sunlight, because at the end of the day, none of the plants could survive without the sun. None of the plants could survive without the rain. So we just want to be grateful, man. We just want to be grateful. So blessings to everyone. Blessings to everyone. Blessings to everyone. How your garden doing, guys? How your garden doing? Talk to me. Talk to me. Let me know how your garden doing. Let's have this conversation. This year is a very challenging year. Very challenging year. Why this year is a very challenging year? Because a lot of those critters is eating up my plants, my squash. I have some squash running on the ground, and my goodness, them rabbit is having a feast. But what I had was to do, because the truth is, I didn't want to make no trail. I really didn't want to make no trail, and I just wanted everything to run on the ground and just looking beautiful and just having, But what ended up happening, the rabbit and them start eating up my squash them on the ground. So what I had was to do was start putting them on trail. So now they on the trail and they're doing a lot better now because they're on the trail. And it's just doing wonderful. The thing is, listen, the garden is very challenging. It's very challenging doing gardening because sometimes you go through a lot. Sometimes you go through a lot by dealing with pests. Sometimes you go through a lot with the weather. Sometimes you go through a lot. But at the end of the day, man, it's about not giving up. Because listen me, when we have our short growing season, we don't have time to give up. We trying to make sure that what we're doing, we actually gonna get food from what we're doing. It's not easy. You guys know it's not easy, but at the end of the day, we got to eat, and our family got to eat. This year, could you imagine I have a whole tomato patch? I have a whole tomato patch, and you know what happened? Something went and eat off. I had some nice big tomatoes, and something went and eat off every last one. So I had some serious challenge this year. Losing squash. I lose all the peach on my peach tree. I lose all the plum on my plum tree. But guess what? I still didn't give up. I still continue Hey, girl, that how you doing? Thank you for being here. What's going on? Yes, yes. Happy gardening to everyone. Shout out to each and every one of you. Thank you, girl. That I appreciate that. Hit that like button, guys. Guys, please hit that like button. You know what Plant a Garden TV show you guys the real. He show you everything. He show you how it grows. So hitting the like button wouldn't cause you a thing. Support by hitting that like button. I truly appreciate it. Yes. So this year, I'm not gonna lie, this year garden season was very challenging and it's still challenging, but one thing I'm not doing, I'm not gonna give up. This year, I also, if you notice in the picture, what you're gonna be seeing containers. You're gonna be seeing containers, fruit trees. If you notice over there, you're gonna see a cantaloupe growing up down here. If you notice, you're gonna see my June plum. Yes, it was very challenging this year with my June plum, with my mango tree. This year, my mango tree produced a whole set of flowers, and it turned out to lose all the flowers. Then it come back with a second crop, which was so amazing. It come back with a second crop, and there's some beetles come and eat off everything. So I'm just saying, guys, gardening is very challenging. But what I want to say is not about giving up. It's always about winning. All right? In gardening, we're going to find a lot of challenge, but you got to understand you have the power. You have the power to make changes in your garden. And the thing about it is, when you see things, you have to learn from everything you see. Everything you see, you have to learn. You got to pay attention. You got to, this year again, I'm telling you, this year is very challenging. This year again, I realized pollinators went down to the low again. So now I have to find myself doing a lot of self-pollination. That cantaloupe you see down to the bottom there, I had us to do self-pollinate, hand-pollinated with them, because if I didn't do that, I might not get cantaloupe, which I already eat a beautiful cantaloupe, and I just love how it's sweet. You see it down there? I just love how that cantaloupe sweet. So in these containers, I'm actually growing fruit trees. I'm actually growing edibles, because I want to show people that you could actually grow edibles in containers. Well, let me see if I could drop over the container. Give me 1 second. All right, that's a beautiful edible plant right there. So the truth is, I don't have to grow edibles in containers, but this is just for the people who follow me and want to learn about edibles and want to know how to grow edibles. I just want to show you guys you can grow edibles in container too and be very successful. Very successful. If you notice there, you could see how the root getting big in the container. If you notice how the roots spreading out, yes, you can grow it in container as well. Over this side here, if you notice over there a little, that's lemongrass. We have lemongrass. We have a lot of lemongrass. Listen to me. And what I want to say to guys, you have to, I personally, the things that I do, I grow fruit trees in containers. And by growing fruit trees in containers, what I also do, I also grow different type of food inside the container. Okay, so I might have a container with a fruit tree inside it, but at the same time I have ton load of different herbs growing in that same container, which is really awesome. Listen me, I have some beautiful basil yesterday. My goodness, that was some beautiful basil. So it's all about not giving up, guys, because the weather was really challenging this year. Very challenging year. This year we actually went through 4 weeks without rain, and usually this is when I don't wet my plants. The only plants I wet is the plants in container, and I wet them not too much, not too often. But this year was very challenging. I had a fruit tree, which was a sugar apple tree, and I wasn't doing too much. I wasn't watering it too much, but I've learned that the thing is, the weather was so hot because you was dealing with 90 degrees. And one thing I tell you guys, don't come out in the middle of the day. Don't come out in the middle of the day trying to wet your plants. I don't think that's a good idea at all. Don't come out in the middle of the day trying to wet a plant. You know, two weeks ago, I came out and came around the plant. If you notice, you're gonna see how the ground wet, and the container them have little thing because the rain was even pouring a few minutes ago. But yes, I come out in the middle of the day, and the sun was so hot, and it's something I know. I know that if you wet the plants in the middle of the day, especially when it's like 100 degrees, 90 degrees, you could actually damage the root of these plants. The heat could damage the root of the plant, because when you put the water in the plant, what happening is the water is actually getting so hot that it could damage the plant. And you know, these plants don't need hot water. These plants need a cool water, not hot water. So it was very challenging, I tell you that, but at the end of the day, it all works out. Okay? If you notice right here, you're gonna see that's a lemongrass right there. You know what? Here what I'm gonna do, guys, just for you guys, I'm gonna harvest some lemongrass and some nice herbs just for you guys. You know what I'm saying? Because I want you guys to see. I want you guys to see the beauty of having your own plant, your own herbs, your own plants. The beauty of having that, and able to walk outside and just pick some fresh, beautiful herbs from your garden. All right, so right now I have some oregano, I have some lemongrass, which I'm gonna be cutting down. All of these lemongrass, I'm gonna cut them down to the ground, and then I'm also gonna pick all these flowers from the marigold. This is just to show, and just observe, guys, just observe. And you know, guys, I do a lot of in-ground gardening. That's where I do most. But if you observe, you're gonna see the container them is so, the plants them is so healthy, because my goal is to do the same process that I'm doing in ground in the container, and it working beautiful for me. It's working awesome. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to cut some lemongrass and some different herbs that you guys can see. These lemongrass I have is about 5, 6 times already. And lemongrass, we call them fever grass. I grew up knowing them as fever grass. Yes, I grew up knowing them as fever grass. So what I'm going to do today, I'm going to harvest all these lemongrass and just allow them to grow back. So you see, with lemongrass, you could use lemongrass to do many different things. You could use lemongrass, dry them, you could use them and make tea, you could use them and make juice, you could use them and put them in your pot to flavor your pot. You can do many things with these lemongrass. Yes, you can do many things with these lemongrass. This is actually what I'm going to do. I'm going to harvest them. Okay. So yes guys, let's get busy harvesting some of these lemongrass. So if you notice here, I'm going to be cutting all of them. I'm going to be cutting them low down. Nice and fresh right here. So harvesting nice fresh lemongrass. You got to make sure you get as much harvest now, because right now we in July. So you got to try to get as much as you can, because when the weather change, you know what, I'm gonna leave these few. All right, so I'm gonna leave these few that they could catch back up themselves. But at the end of the day, as you see, just like that, I've harvested a nice bunch of lemongrass. So what I'm gonna do with these, I'm gonna dry these, then I'm gonna grind them into powder. So then I could use them, and like if you wanna cook, you cooking some food, you could shake some in your pot. You making some tea, you could shake some in the tea. You making some smoothie, you could shake some in the smoothie. Whatever you decide to put them into, you can do that, all right? So I'm gonna put these right here. Now, let me see. This here is an oregano. This is an oregano. So now I'm going to harvest some of them. This thing grows like wildfire. Also, as we see here, we have the marigold. And the marigold is awesome. Marigold comes with a lot of benefit, guys. So this is something you should be growing, because this plant, they say it helps keep away pests because of the scent. Maybe that's true, but I don't grow it for that. I grow it for the benefit. The scent of this is awesome. So now what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna be harvesting the oregano. This is an oregano. This, I think this one come from, this cannot take the cold weather. I think this oregano come from the island. Yes, yes, I get this from Fifi, and it's doing wonderful. Look at it, it's growing awesome. So I'm gonna harvest out the whole thing, because guess what, now is the right time to harvest them, because it's a rainy If you harvest them now, we're gonna happen, they're gonna be growing back like wildfire. You see? So you gotta know when to harvest as well. And also, this is the right time to harvest herb. This is a beautiful time because at this point, this is when the herbs is full with nutrition, full. This is the season, this is the time. So if you have herbs and they're looking beautiful, and I know you don't want to harvest them because they look so beautiful, you better get out there and start harvesting some herbs, okay? Look at this. What I love with these herbs, they spread a lot. And if you notice, like this, and they're easy to go, very easy to go. If you notice there, they have root popping out right there. So all I got to do now is cut this right there. If I cut this, I can replant it. It's my first time growing this, but I've learned so much about this herb. It can grow in water and it's easy to grow in soil, but it's not, it's a tropical. It cannot stand the cold weather. So it's a plant you might be able to put in a container indoors in some water and just try to see if you could keep them alive for next season. But the scent is unbelievable, I'm telling you. Wow. Okay, so I think I pick enough. I don't want to go too much. I definitely think I pick enough right here, which is this right here. This is enough. What I'm going to do with this, I'm going to grind this up with some different herbs, some celery, some parsley, all different type of herbs. Blend them up and just put them in a container in the refrigerator or a bottle. Maybe you could add a little vinegar if you like, and you could put them in a bottle and you could put them in the refrigerator, and every time you want to use some seasoning, you could just put some in the pot. All right, so now I'm going to be harvesting some of the marigold. If you notice the marigold, and listen me, do you understand? All this is from in a mango tree. All this, what you see me harvesting, is from in a container. That container with the mango. You see what I'm saying? So it's a mango, but it have all different type of herbs growing in the same container. So what I'm saying, guys, use these big containers, and you could also grow herbs around them. So around your fruit trees, you can grow all different type of herbs around them. And I mean, it's amazing. Just like this is some nice fresh oregano. I now harvest here, beautiful, and some nice fresh lemongrass. You know how much these things gonna cost in the store? Do you have any idea how much you're gonna pay for these in the store? All right, so now what I'm going to do now, I'm going to harvest some marigold. Yeah. Okay. I don't know much about the marigold leaf. I don't know too much about the leaf, but I've learned that the marigold flowers is really good. I've learned that the flowers itself also good for help with your eyesight and many different things. But at the end of the day, guys, you got to do your research. I'm not giving medical advice. I only could tell you certain things, but you got to do your own research. So this is some marigold that I've harvested as well. I have a lot more to harvest. Now I'm going and get ready to harvest a thick leaf thyme. Beautiful thick leaf thyme. I'm going and harvest as well. It's just amazing. Listen to me, guys. It's just amazing having a garden outdoors. It's amazing. Even though you mightn't have a big space, even though you mightn't have, don't tell yourself you have to have an acre of land to grow anything. Don't tell yourself you need an acre of land. All you need is just a few areas, like look, just look right now. All I have is from 2 containers, just 2 containers, and within that time I already have this oregano, marigold, lemongrass from these 2 containers. So it's a blessing to able to all right, guys, sorry for that. Okay, so yes, guys, so what I'm saying is, in these few containers, look how much thing I already harvest. Don't mind my container, it's no rain a few minutes ago, so my containers look a little dusty, but that's okay. So let me harvest a different set of time that I can show you another time. This is another time. I don't know, it's almost look like the oregano, but it's not the oregano. We call them thick leaf thyme. I don't know, I'm sure there are gonna be a lot of other names, but we call them the thick leaf thyme. So this is the oregano, watch. And this is the thick leaf thyme, so they're both different. But my goodness, the scent of them is just amazing. You see, and this is what I'm talking about, guys. When you grow your things, them natural, everything is more poking. The taste is more poking. The scent is more poking. Everything is different. You check what I'm saying? This is why I try to grow my stuff as natural as possible. I cannot add these things that I don't even want to call their name. I just cannot add them to my plant because I prefer to have a natural garden than to have a garden with all these type of stuff around my plant that I have no idea what they are. Okay, so I'm just showing you a few things that I'm harvesting. So in no time these things gonna full with marigold again. These are basil. Oh my goodness. These are fresh basil. And if you notice, they have this flower. So look at this, right? These are basil. But they also pushing out their seed. But at the end of the day, they have so much leaf. So all you got to do is clip off the flowers, which is the seed, and put them to dry. So just like this, I have is a bunch of flowers. So this is basil. So you see the seeds, the flowers. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just pick them off and dry them. These are some I think everyone should be growing these basil. I think everyone should be growing these basil because these basil they grow big, they spread a lot, they produce a lot of leaf, and they also produce seed that you can also have for your garden. So just like this, I don't want to harvest too heavy because it's so much. You don't want to just harvest. The thing about it is, you don't want to just harvest because at the end of the day, you got to make preparation. You want to make sure when you harvest everything fresh, and when you harvest, you're ready to walk on what you harvest. So what I'm harvesting here, I'm actually harvesting because I'm getting ready to make a nice seasoning. I'm getting ready to make a nice seasoning. So this is for my seasoning. This is for my seasoning. I also take this basil and make a nice massage oil. Yeah, I could use this basil and make a nice massage oil. How I make my massage oil? What I do, I wash them really good, dry them, tap out the water, leave them let the air out a little. Then I add some oil. You could add maybe olive oil in the bottle, and you could put it in. Also put it in a pot of hot water. So we're gonna and leave it for maybe like 35 minutes. So when the oil heat up, it's gonna start drying out the beautiful substance out of the basil. And then when you finish, you strain it and you have beautiful massage oil for yourself. So you just got to be active, guys, and you could have your own type of oil growing. So all these are beautiful basil I have now harvest. Beautiful. I also harvest a nice set of marigold, and I also harvest a beautiful roll of lemongrass, which is awesome. So what this and the marigold is for me to make tea, and I'm gonna dry some because I wanna turn it to powder so I can just add it to my pot. When I'm cooking my ital, I could just add some to it, and that gonna create flavor. Now is the time you gotta do as much harvest as you can. Why? Because you don't want the fall. When the fall comes, you wanna able to stack up. You want to able to have enough that could last you right through till the next garden, next spring. So these are the marigold leaf. These things spread. This is one plant in the container over there. This is one plant, right? One plant, and this is one limb that break from the marigold because they're so heavy. The good thing, what I love about these marigold as well, they also produce some small root. So this, if I choke this in the soil, it's gonna definitely start growing, especially with this type of rain that coming. This will grow in no time. So this is a plant I can take and just choke in the ground, and it's gonna just grow. But I have a lot of marigold right now, so I'm not even going through that. What I want to know, I already know if the flowers is good, the leaf is good as well. If the flowers good, the leaf is good as well. So my thing is, what am I going to do with this? What am I going to do with this? You know what I'm going to do with this, but I'm not telling you to do it. I'm going to take this and I'm going to get some oil, and I'm going to extract this into the oil. And this might be something you want to rub your skin with. But guys, remember, I'm not a doctor. This is what I'm doing. So you could use this and the leaf and extract it into oil, and this could become something that could rub your skin. The thing about it is there's a lot of herbs that you could intake, not just by tea, not just by drinking it, not just by eating it. You could also observe a lot of herbs through rubbing on your skin, massaging your skin. So there's many ways you could observe these things. But guys, I'm not telling you to use this. I'm just saying I'm going and try it with I'm gonna use this with the flowers and see how it works for me. Okay. So now I'm going to harvest a few more things, and I'm going to come right back. All right, so now I don't know if much people know about Rue, R-U-E. This is a herb that grows. It also grows as a scrub. It push out a beautiful flowers, R-U-E. So you could do your own research on this herb. The scent of it is poking. Do some research on this herb, guys, R-U-E. This is a beautiful plant. Even in the Bible, they talk about this plant, Rua. So this been going around for a long time, and it's loaded with benefit. We also have this one, lemon verbena, something, yes, lemon verbena. This smells just like lemon. It's the scent of it. Man, listen to me. I just love to grow natural herbs. I just love to grow natural. The reason why I love to grow them, the scent of them is so potent, and at the same time, this is the right season to harvest them to get that poking scent. So this, everything I have is here today. The scent is just on another level. Where I'm sitting here now, all I'm smelling is fresh, beautiful herbs. That's all I'm smelling. So I'm not gonna harvest anything more. I'm just gonna be showing you everything I harvest today in this live. Hope you guys enjoy this live. I'm showing you live and direct, not just a bunch of talking, live and direct. Herbs that I grow natural. I grow these natural fresh herbs. You see how they're looking healthy. All right. We also lemongrass. So just like this, we have nice, beautiful lemongrass, and you know how much money I save here. I save a bunch of money, and at the same time, I got herbs that have the nutrients inside of them. Not just some dry up herbs you go and purchase somewhere. These are fresh. You in control of how you want to dry them. You in control of everything about them, because this is what you grow. Okay? I'm gonna walk around a little and I'm gonna show you guys a little more. So now this is the lemongrass. This is where I now harvest from. This is the oregano where I now harvest from. And even though I now harvest, it look like I didn't harvest anything. This is, we also have turmeric growing up inside this same container. Look this is the basil. I now have, all this is in one container, guys. This is the basil. I now harvest, it look like nothing harvest. And this is one marigold. I now harvest all the flowers and the limb break off from here. So this is a massive marigold, as you can see. So all this come from one container. Right here we have more marigold flowers. So all these flowers, I can harvest all these flowers, which I'm gonna be doing. And let me show you up here as well. Look, we have more lemongrass that we need to harvest. We have more of the thick leaf thyme that we need to harvest. And we also have tons of marigold. You notice the flowers, then we have tons of marigold going on here. And down inside here, you see the rain now come, you could see the water. All this is basil. All this is basil, as you can see, going on all in this area here. And we have a nice patch of lemongrass there for harvest. We have a nice patch of rosemary to harvest. You know, all this is ginger growing up here. All this is rosemary. This is the same lemon verbena I was talking about. So yes, guys, it's good. It's really good. And this is sweet stevia. This is sweet stevia, and this is a basil growing out to the bottom of this. You see a basil growing there, coming up there. So my thing is, guys, do what you gotta do, and do it what's best for you. Do what works for you. All right? Do what works for you. All right. So, guys, sorry. So, guys, all right. So, I now give you a tour. Okay, let me see if I could turn around this camera now. Let me see if I could turn this camera around. All right. So, as you see now, I now give you a harvest where I now have some fresh herb, which I hope could motivate someone to definitely get out and start growing. Don't forget, guys, our herb garden challenge is going on next season again next year. So don't forget, all right? Don't forget, the Herb Garden Challenge 2025 is going on again for next season. We begin at the 4th of March 2025. Okay? So, I'm going to be showing you a few things here. I have more lemongrass to harvest, so let me cut a few more lemongrass and then I'm going to show you what I'm doing. Okay, hold on. This is another kind of basil, but my gosh, this basil is a, oh my goodness, this thing is just, and this is more lemongrass. When, when you cook with these things, when you cook with these herbs, right? These are fresh herbs. So when you cook with these herbs, my goodness, your pot, the taste of your pot, the flavor of your pot is just on another level, guys. All right, because for the people who know me, knows how I grow my food. I grow my food natural. I do not add no sort of stuff around my plants. I prefer to grow them natural. Whether they get big, it doesn't matter. Once they're full of nutrients, that's what's important for me. All right, now these are my lemongrass. Right. What I'm gonna be doing with these lemongrass, I'm going to wash these lemongrass really good. I'm going to soak them in a big container of water and just soak them. Then I'm going to shake them in the water. Then I'm going to throw away that water. Then I'm going to add more water in the container and wash it. Maybe like 3-4 times. Wash them properly. After I wash them, what I want to do, I want to tie them just like this. You could tie them just like this, and you tie them up on a line. Or you could tie them up in an area, in a room, with a net covering them. So with the net, the air could go through the net because you want to keep off any, you don't want no dust get on them. So you're trying to protect them. So you cover them with, there's a net, but air can't go through. So in that form, they will be like this. So the air will go through them and dry them. And when after the air dry them, the color is just remain the same. Green and beautiful. So this is what I'm gonna be doing with this basil, this lemongrass, I'm gonna dry them, tie them, wash them, dry them, tie them up like this, and allow them to dry. And if you do your research, guys, you're gonna see how much these lemongrass, how much they have to offer. All right. This is the raw. What I'm gonna be doing with the raw, I'm gonna be using the raw and make tea. This is what I'm gonna be using the raw for, to make tea. The scent is just amazing. All right. These are basil, oregano, and they're with a thick leaf type. I remember growing up and used to use it, it's somehow the food used to taste different, man. And this is why I decided to start going back and grow my stuff natural, because I realized the taste is different. So when you grow your stuff natural, the taste, man, because back home, the taste, we used to grow our stuff natural. And the taste and the smell was just so strong and poking. Then I realized when you purchase these things, you're not getting the scent, you're not getting the taste. So I decide, if I'm gonna plant, I'm gonna do it natural. And the scent of this, you would not, listen me guys, you would not believe how strong these seasoning are. So these gonna be seasoning. These is seasoning that I'm gonna be blending up together. Some, if I want, I could also dry them. But this type is very not easy to dry. So in that case, stuff like this, you might have to put it in the sun for a couple of days, just for the sun to kind of dry it out a little, then you finish air dry. Because these leaves is thick and they have a lot of water in them, so it's gonna take a lot of time. But what I'm gonna be doing with this is actually for me to make seasoning to flavor my pot. These marigold flowers. Yes, with these marigold flowers, I'm gonna be making tea. I'm also gonna be making oil that can rub my skin, because the thing is with a lot of these oil, your skin could absorb these oil, and some of them is beneficial, not just by drinking them, also by rubbing your skin. But do your own research before applying these products. All right, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. All you got to do, double tap on the screen and hit that like button. And this is my marigold and leaf. Like I said, I'm gonna try to get some oil from this and also the flowers. That's what I'm gonna be doing. Thank you for hitting that like button. I truly appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right, so this was a live about herbs, because all of the plant that I have studied is herbs. They all herbs. The lemongrass, the rua, the marigold, basil, all of them is actually herbs that I harvest and I'm growing. And I also explain to you what I'm going to be doing with them, and also how I'm going to be drying them. Because my thing is, I do not like to sun dry. But why I don't like sun dry, the sun take out too much, even dehydrate. Don't get me wrong. You do what you got to do. I personally don't believe in dehydrating herbs, meaning basil, meaning lemongrass, meaning these. You can air dry these and you can be very successful, especially in the summer. You could air dry them. When you air dry them, like for instance, if you dry the lemongrass in the sun and then you start, when you pick them up, they start falling apart, they start crumbling, they start falling apart, right? But if you air dry them, they remain the same, and that's exactly what I want. I want to be able to have them, dry them, and they remain the same. I can store them without the breaking up and turning to dust. All right, so this is why I do not like dehydrate. I do not like sun dry. Don't get me wrong. You do what you feel, what best for you, what works for you. I only could speak for myself. Like this oregano and the broadleaf thyme, these a lot of people will prefer to dehydrate them. Like I said, nothing is wrong with what you do. Do what works for you. I prefer to use air dry. And I give you my reason for air dry. It's just it's just beautiful. And I'm grateful to able to share this with you guys. I'm grateful to able to share this life today with you guys, because you see, with me, I want people to see there's a lot of people who learn hands-on. There's a lot of people who learn by just watching. They learn in that form. So if I can show a person how to plant, how to take care of it, how to harvest, I think it's an amazing thing to do. So I try to make sure when I show you something or when I talk about something, it's because I tried already and it works for me. Listen, there's a lot of distraction out there. There's a lot of people who telling you a bunch of stuff and they can't show you any proof. There's a lot of people who telling you about product they're using, but they cannot show you no proof. Listen me. It's your garden. You walk it the best way you can. A lot of false information out there. A lot of information, and the thing about it is, man, we love quick fix. You see what I'm saying? We love quick fix. When I say quick fix, let me see. All right. When I say quick fix, what I mean is everybody just want to start a garden today and expect it's going to be so overnight. Well, guess what? It takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes dedication, and it takes patience, and it takes discipline in order to get a successful garden. When I say that, I don't telling you that you're not gonna get your garden not gonna produce. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is to get a real successful garden that continuous producing for you, beautiful, healthy. Your plants them always looking healthy and beautiful. It takes time and dedication for that. It's not gonna happen overnight. I always say this because I just want, and the reason why I'm saying this, there's people gonna get mad when you say these things, but it's not for a person to get mad, because there's a lot of new gardeners out there who really trying and who really willing to learn. You know what I'm saying? And what we do, we just false information and giving them a bunch of... No, what my intention is to make it simple as possible for everyone to be successful in their garden. Simple as possible. Why? Because a lot of people, the amount of thing they tell you you need to start a garden, it's discourage people. It discourages people because how am I gonna start a garden with $500-600? I have to figure out, get the amount of thing they tell you you need is absorbed. I'm showing you in your backyard, you can grow something without even buying any soil. You can grow something without even buying any soil. Don't get distracted. There's a lot of distraction on YouTube. There's a lot of distraction. Don't get me wrong, there's people who sharing valuable information, and there's people who just Googling stuff and without any proof of what they're doing, talking a bunch of stuff about all different type of product that they don't have a clue about. And then the new gardeners now just falling for it because they don't know better. We discouraging a lot of people because the amount of thing we're telling people they need to start a garden is absorbed. You don't need all this whatever. My thing is having a successful garden. That's my thing is. And it don't take you to be spending all the money you have to have a successful garden. If you really want a successful garden, what you need to do is focus on building your soil natural. That's what you need to do. Focus on building your soil natural. So when you build your soil natural, it's something that continue and is just it's improving every year. But the shortcut that we take because someone tell us about something in a battle, and we take these things and we go and we just start showing them around our plants, and then when we do realize 2 years our soil start to get dry and weak, and then our garden start to look crazy, the plants them start to look dry and weak, and then you want to know why and what happened. Well, guess what? The next thing again, a lot of us who buy these products do not read the labels. If something tell you it is 75% organic, what is the another 25%? That's what you need to know. If it's 75% organic, then what's the other 25%? What's in it? So it ain't organic. If it's only 75%, then it's not organic. It ain't natural. There's something different up inside it that make it not natural. That make it not organic because it's only 65% or 75%. You have to, I don't need to read the label because I don't use them. But for the people who use the label, who use this product, read the label and see. These people is actually telling you they have an advertisement where these things is side effect and we're still using them. Then there's people who want to come and show you that you could do it natural. It's just not going to happen overnight. The thing is, there's stuff out there that you could throw around your plants and they just grow them up. But the lack of nutrient, everything need a certain time to grow. Just like a child, just like we need a certain amount of age to grow up and develop. It takes a certain amount of time for that to happen. It's the same thing with the plant. It takes a certain amount of time for certain things to happen. So you trying to speed up the process is not doing anything. You causing more harm than you helping. Yeah, you actually causing more harm than you helping, trying to speed up the growth of your plant. When, if you take a certain amount of time and work on your soil, make sure you work on your soil properly, make sure you have patience, make sure you're not allowing nobody to distract you. You understand? Because there's a lot of distraction, and guess what? Some of the people who is distracting you, where is their production? Show me the product you're telling me about. Show me it working. There's a lot of people sit down and Google information, and then they come out there and they tell you a bunch of stuff. All you do, you Google, and it's another person idea or another person information. No, you did not actually practical did this. You went and you get the information. No, to me, unless you ain't do it, you have no, you have no authority to even be spreading it without you do it, without you see it work, without, you understand? You telling me about a product, but at the same time, you not use it, you never use it, you have no proof how this thing works. So I don't think we have, I think, we got to take this thing more serious. I mean, there's a lot of people in this for entertainment. There's a lot of people in it looking for content, and they don't care what they say to get some views. They don't care. Once they're able to get their views, to hell with you and where you want to believe or where you want to think. But there's genuine people out here who also want good and want people to actually gain the knowledge. So now what I do, I show my progress from start to finish. So I'm not telling you, okay, you have to do it the way I do it. That's not what I'm doing. I'm just showing you what I'm doing and how it working for me. Now I'm giving you ideas, so maybe you could try. I'm not actually telling you to stop grow food the way you grow food. What I'm doing is I'm saying you could take a few chicks from me and apply them. Take a few chicks from someone else and apply them. But at the end of the day, you got to, let me say this again. If you want to be a gardener or you're new to gardening, you have to follow the people. I'm not telling you to follow me. I'm telling you, you got to follow people who could help you get there. I'm not telling you, oh, to follow Planter Garden TV. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying follow the people who could help you get there. If you want entertainment, that's cool. If whatever you want, but if you are a gardener and you're trying to get somewhere, you're trying to build your soil, you're trying to learn how to grow these plants, you want to learn how to take care of these plants, then you got to follow the people who could take you there. But sometimes a lot of us come on to learn about certain things, but we get distracted. We get distracted from what we basically come to do. So like someone was telling me the other day, they say, it's so much information on YouTube. It's discouraging. It's discouraging. You know what I tell her? I say, well, listen to me. You can't watch everyone because it's too much information. So if you're watching everyone, it's gonna make you stuck. Sometimes you gotta just start on your own and pick pieces from others. Pick pieces from others. So you learning from others. So you just applying. So every year you say, okay, let me try this. I see such and such doing this. Let me try this. I see such and such doing that. Let me try that. If it works for you, then you say, okay, all right, it's working for me, so you continue. If it ain't work for you, then you move on to something else. So if you want to learn to grow food to feed your family, you got to be focused. You cannot be distracted because, like the lady said, it's too much information. And yes, it could be devastating because you listen to 15 different people. And by you listening to 15 different people, you're not even doing nothing for yourself. Right? Because you study and listening. No, what you got to do, you got to get practical. You got to get in that garden. And you got to start to walk your soil, get some information, walk your soil, how to plant, focus on how you planting. And then you learn from that. The next year, you tried something different. You try different things. So you keep learning from what you're doing. You could listen to people, yes, but you got to focus on what you're doing. You got to learn from yourself as well, because the greatest teacher is experience. So you got to learn from yourself as well, and you add what other people have to offer. You see what I'm saying? But you cannot listen to everyone because you will get distracted. You might never start a garden. Like, I'm gonna tell you, okay, use what you have. Walk around, whatever container you have, whatever container. Oh, wait, oh my goodness, sorry guys, sorry. Oh, shams. Let me hold on. I didn't even realize so much people were, oh, the chat was on pause, guys. Sorry, guys, the chat was on pause. I don't even, oh my goodness. Let me say hello to everybody. Hello, Miss Shirley, OG Gardner, how you doing? Hello, Sweet Tom. Hello, Jacqueline Ham. Oh my goodness, sorry, guys. Sorry, guys. I'm here going in and I ain't even see. Hello, Clipty, how you doing? Oh, wow. Thank you guys for coming out. I appreciate each and every one of you. Hello, Paz in the garden, how you doing? New here, why is the video? Live background grid. Oh, well, I'm in the yard and it's dark, so that's why. Sorry for that. I'm in the dark and it's, I was actually, hold on guys, I was actually phone, sorry, all right, I was actually live earlier and it get dark, so I just continue do what I'm doing. So sorry, so don't check the video, check the information, all right? Where you take on so much information. Yes, sweet Tom, and this is what I'm saying. You take on so much information that you spend more time thinking of information than actually using the information. Pretty much, you said it. You said it, Sweet Tom. Sweet Tom, you said it right there. You said it right there. That is exactly what I'm saying. Yes, I'm outside with no light. Sorry, guys. I was doing a live and I'm just sitting and just having this conversation. Just started gardening after several years. Going to try vertical planter for herb garden. That's awesome. That's awesome. And you know I'm here to encourage each and everyone about gardening, man. Let's get this garden thing going. And like I said, you don't forget to hit that like button, guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. Wait, hold on. Where the thing drop, I ain't know where it fall. Yes. Yes, guys, don't forget to hit that like button. All you gotta do, and double tap the screen, and yes. But yes, guys, too much information could put you paralyzed, just like Sweet Tom said. You have to follow people that, especially you want to do gardening. Whatever, it doesn't matter if it's gardening, it could be carpentry, it could be mechanic, it doesn't matter what it is you're doing. Yes, you got to stop thinking and just do it. Yes. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You have to focus on the people who could help you. And sometimes you have to get out there in the garden, get out there and just start doing your thing. But you start doing your thing, it's gonna just come to you. It's gonna be coming to you. You're gonna be coming to you. Now, the more you do it, the more you learn, the more you start to experience. The more you experience is the more you see, the more you experience is for the next year, you're gonna be doing something completely different. Now you're getting better now. So now you're getting better. 3-4 years, you had reached to a place now where you confident. And the thing about it is too, you have to build your confidence. And it's not gonna happen overnight. Your confidence is not gonna build overnight. But the more you garden, the more you plant, the more it's like you already know the progress you're gonna get in your garden. When I plant a plant, I plant it with confidence. I believe that this plant gonna grow and be very successful. I don't plant anything with any doubt. And this is where a lot of people fail, because they plant and they don't have the confidence. They just believe, you know what, if it grow, it grow. If it ain't, no, you got to believe it's gonna grow. I learn a lot from my failure. Many people are so worried about failing that they never start. You hit it again, Sweet Tom, you hit it again. You have to do it. If you fail next year, you know, okay, I did this last year and it didn't work for me. So guess what? I'm going and do it something next year. So don't feel disappointed if failure appear. And don't look at it as failure. You learn something. Failure, to me, what people take as failure, to me is learning something new. Because now, from this experience I now had, it made me know that I have to do something different next season. So it ain't no failure in gardening. It's learning. Okay? There's no failure in gardening, is learning. And so this is why, guys, this is why I'm saying you got to stay focused. You got to discipline yourself because I'm telling you, it's a lot of information out there that's going to make you don't even start. Lots of information. My thing is, if you want to give me information, then I want to see what you're doing. If you telling me about plants and about gardening, I want to see what you're doing. Show me that what you're doing is working. But we all garden in different ways. All right? We all garden in different ways. So this is the next thing as well. You have to figure out what type of gardening you want to do. That's important. If you come on YouTube and your goal is to learn how to grow food, then you got to think about how you want to grow your food and what you want to use around your food. And then that's the people you focus on. That's the people you pull on to, because hear me now. Not everyone will able to garden the way I garden. You see, because I have the resources is around me. There's many people who doing it out their apartment. There's many people who don't have much space. So you got to do what works for you at the end of the day. You see? Do what works for you. One thing I'll recommend to everyone is get your garden going in the fall. Don't wait until the spring to start working on your soil. Work on your soil in the fall. There's a lot of people I understand with the space situation, it might be a little challenging because of the space. So at the end of the day, you do what works for you. And this is why I'm telling you, you have to follow the people who could help you with what you have going on. You can't follow people who telling you something different than what you want to do or what you're doing, because this is how you're going to get confused. And when you get confused, that's the problem. Because now you ain't want to plant because you're confused. Then the next thing again, a lot of people introduce people to some containers, and the prices for the containers is just ridiculous. I'm not saying it ain't worth it. What I'm saying is to grow a plant in that container, you could get 4 containers for that price. Then sometimes you have containers are wrong. Once a container is big enough, put some soil inside of it. Don't get distracted with these containers you might see. You might see some people with containers, big expensive containers. You can't follow that, because that gonna cost you. And sometimes a lot of these people get sponsored and get in containers. So you can't watch. You got to focus on you and what you can do. There's a lot of distraction out there. And the problem is the distraction is discouraging people from doing gardening. It is discouraging a lot of people. I'm hearing people talking. Too much information. Some of them say gardening costs too much money. And I just don't understand. Because this whole garden season, I barely spend any money in my garden. This year, I buy a couple fruit trees, that was it. But when you're talking about growing food, I don't spend money growing food. Sweet Tom, there's some seed containers I want, but $40 for a flower pot is out of my pay grade. All right, you see, Sweet Tom, you really hitting it. You hitting it tonight. I'm telling you, you hitting it because you hitting some valid point. You like it. It's beautiful, but it's out of your pay. So don't force yourself. There's something else you can use. Here's Sweet Tom again. $3 for a 5-gallon bucket. Kinda steep to me. You see what I'm saying? This is what I'm saying. So now, the fourth, no, Sweet Tom saw one she like, and it's $40. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure it's beautiful, but it's $40 for that. Then you also have $3 for a 5-gallon bucket. Where I'm at, a 5-gallon bucket is almost $5. It's $4 and change for a 5-gallon bucket. You see what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, $5 is way cheaper than $40. Okay, Jacqueline Ham. If you don't have the money, Dollar Tree has supply, Walmart has good deals. All right, you go where you could afford. Like I said, guys, it's not how much the container costs, it's how big it is, and once it's able to maintain the root of the plant, you in good shape. It's not how much it costs. I have containers that I just use 6, 7 years old, and I'm not throwing them away because they able to maintain the root of the plant. They're big enough. So I'm not going out there and be spending a bunch of money for no reason, and then no production. I believe in growing food simple but able to get big harvests. You see what I'm coming from? Grow them simple, spend less money, but able to have big harvest, great production. That's what I'm about. You can use things you already have around the house. Definitely. Jacqueline Ham say you can use things you have around the house. I agree with that. This is where the distraction come from. This is where the focus. This is where we just have problem because now we're watching our little buckets around our house, and then we're watching someone else, and we believe that our little bucket around ain't good enough. Now we gone out there now and start spending money for containers. Containers is not cheap. So do what you can. Focus on what you can and what you could afford, and I guarantee you, you still stand a chance of being successful. You might even be more successful than the people who spend a bunch of money for a container. Sweet Tom, a 5-gallon bucket, one kale plant can pay for itself 10 times over with that first plant. Definitely. Definitely. A 5-gallon bucket you can grow a lot of stuff in one 5-gallon bucket. When I say one 5-gallon bucket, you could go different plants. You know, instead of you go out and spend $30 on a container for grow a kale. Like Sweet Tom say, a 5-gallon bucket will works for that kale. So it's not about how much you spend in the garden. It's how much you're able to harvest out of the garden. Because if you ain't be careful, you could catch yourself spend $500 $1,000 for a garden season just by listening to people. You see what I'm saying? Just by listening to people. You do what you can, focus on what you can. This is what I'm saying. There's a lot of distraction. There's a lot of information. There's a lot of false information. There's a lot of all kind of information. And I'm not just talking about gardening. I'm talking about real life out there in many different fields. That's why you got to become your scientist. You got to become the scientist you are in your garden. You got to be doing your own research in your garden. You got to be learning from growing every season. You're supposed to get more knowledge because you open up to experience. If you growing tomato this season, say you're growing tomato, and you grow them and somehow or the other, they did not turn out successful at all. You're gonna try grow them a different way. You're not gonna go back and try the same way again. No, you wanna try something different. If you try growing an okra plant and the okra did not turn out well, meaning whatever you do or whatever it went through wasn't in agree with the plant. So now you try something different. Maybe move it out. Yes, maybe move it out. Put it somewhere else. Maybe put it in more sun. Maybe, and this is another important part in gardening, guys. The sun. The sun and the rain. The sun and the rain is very important in gardening. The sun and the rain. Now, there's a lot of plants out there that really love the sun. There's a lot of plants that really love partial sun. When I say partial sun, they don't want that sun to penetrate them all day. They just want the sun to come, penetrate them for an hour or two, and that's it. They just want to be cool for the rest of the day. And there's plants who will deal with that sun all day and just loving it. No, you got to know these plants. To be successful, you got to know what a plant loves and able to give it to that plant. So if you know these plants love to be in hot sun, then that's where you got to put them. You can't put them under a tree. You can't put them in a shaded area if you know that they love hot sun. These are the things we have to know. So every year you should know, you should learn something from the plants you grow. Pay attention. It's important to pay attention. The more you pay attention, the more you're gonna learn. And when you learn, you get better the next year. If you're growing something and you realize, wow, like for instance, guys, I just grow some peppers, right? I just grow bell pepper tree, bell pepper. And my bell pepper, them does grow 7 feet, 8 feet tall. Sometimes I gotta go up on a ladder to reach the top of my bell pepper tree to pick peppers. You see what I'm saying? No, I've been growing these bell peppers for years now. So it's like I know these peppers because I've been growing them for so long. I know exactly what it takes to grow these bell pepper trees to 7, 8 feet. I know exactly what it takes, and I'm gonna show you again. This year it happened. You know what? Some of my bell pepper them, something eat off the heads. And these are my bell pepper. I'm trying to get to 8 feet this year. I grow bell pepper tree 8 feet last year, and I'm trying to grow them 8 feet this year again, maybe more. But something come and eat off like 6 of them head. But they're still growing. They still growing, and it have time. Right now we in August, July, August, September. By September, I'm gonna be having 7 to 8 foot bell pepper trees. Now, why I can speak like this? We can't see anything the pitch black. All right, I'm going to edit now. So I'm sorry, guys, but I hope hey, oh man, what's up, man? How you doing? I'm going to edit now, but at the end of the day, I hope this live. I start the live outside, and I just continue outside because what I was doing, I was harvesting some herbs, I harvest some lemongrass, I harvest basil, I harvest oregano, I harvest tick leaf thyme. I know, man. Yes, so, but it get dark on me, and it was just feeling so nice that I just continue. You know what I'm saying? But I want to say, man, I hope this live could it motivate someone. I hope this life can motivate someone. And sorry, guys, that you guys was in the chat and I wasn't seeing nothing. The chat was like on pause. So I really wasn't saying nothing. Whoa, you walking? No. I'm just relaxing. Yeah, oh, but I was harvesting some herbs, man. Yeah, so it's a great season, man. It's a great season. So I just hope you guys, man. Yes, the chat was free, so the chat wasn't rolling, and I didn't even realize you guys was up inside here. But I'm glad I see, and shout out to everyone who passed through the live tonight, man. I hope this live was interesting. I hope it had information that can help someone tonight. Just want to say, man, thank you all for coming out. Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Happy gardening, and don't forget, it ain't no failure in garden. Anyhow you fail is something you learn. All right, you know next season not to do it that way. So it ain't failure. It's learning. It's experience, what you experience. So how could it be failure? It is not failure. It's something you learn, something you experience. It ain't no such thing as failure in this thing. All right? So no distracted by this. You was rocking out. Okay. You know what? You know what, sweet Tom? You know what? That you're right, because I wasn't seeing the chat and I was just going in. Sometimes the truth is, sometimes you see the chat and you try to greet people, you try to say hi, and then sometimes you even forgot what you was going to say. So I kind of glad it happened that way as well. Yes, thank you for a great live, great. Oh yes, man, thank you all, and thank you all for coming in, because you guys hit some valid point tonight here as well. So yes, guys, I appreciate you all. Happy gardening, everyone. Hope to see you guys soon again. Thank you, guys. You guys have a blessed and wonderful night. Thank you, Jacqueline Ham. Thank you, Sweet Tom. Thank you, Orban. Thank you, Miss Shirley. Everybody who come in tonight, man. Thank you, Paz in the Garden. Thanks all of you for coming in tonight. I truly appreciate each and every one of you, man. And don't forget, it ain't no failure in garden. It's something new you learn. So the next year, you know not to make that say, not to do it that way. You learn that, okay, I did it this way last year, I'm gonna do it the next way the next year. So it have nothing to do with failure. We don't fail. Failure is not an option. It's what we learn. All right. So yes, guys, thank you all for coming out. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget to hit that like button. All you got to do, double tap the screen before you leave. And I truly appreciate it. And as usual, you know I go live every Thursday. And tomorrow evening, I'm going to be going live directly from my garden. My garden where I have all my pumpkin and my squash and everything growing. I'm going live there tomorrow if everything work out well in the evening, direct, because I want to show you guys how everything going, how everything walking, how everything growing, because I'm willingly want people to see that you don't have to spend an arm and a leg to do no garden. All right? Peace and love, everyone. Good night. Thank you all. Have a blessed week. It's going to be 6 p.m. tomorrow. All right? Jacqueline, 6 p.m. tomorrow. I'm going to be directly in my garden, 6 p.m. tomorrow. So you guys could tune in because you're going to be seeing it. You're going to be seeing a lot of things going on. Good night, everyone.